the Always Believe House. Oh, today we're going to have FUN, fun, because we're about to do the test review on your second test of the second 6 weeks. Mr. Toops puts the fun in functions. Especially linear functions. So a magical whiteboard appears. Let's start rocking and rolling on this. We're doing linear functions on this test. And so let's get started. Okay, the first one, we're going to convert standard form to slope-intercept form. So standard form is ax plus by equals c, and slope-intercept form is y equal mx plus b. Now that I'm going to show you how to do this traditionally, and then we're going to go through the standard form shortcuts to get the y-intercept and the slope. So right here we have 3x minus 2y equals 8. I want to get the y all by itself. So the 3x and the 2 have got to go over. So I'm going to take this 3x and move it to the right. So I'm going to get negative 2y equals the opposite of a positive 3x is a negative 3x plus 8. And then I need to divide everything by the negative 2. This solves it for y. Now that the negative 2's would cancel out to 1, I would get y equal 2 negatives makes a positive 3 over 2x, and then 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. My slope would be 3 over 2. My y-intercept would be negative 4. If I take ax plus by equals c, and I solve it for y, I'm going to move the ax to the right, and then I'll divide by the b. This right here is the slope. This right here is the y-intercept. So y'all watch what I have here. 3x minus 2y equals 8. My a is 3, my b is negative 2, and my c is 8. The slope is negative a over b. So I'm going to put negative 3 over negative 2. This would turn into positive 3 over 2, which is going to end up being right here in it. And then if I do c divided by b, I get 8 divided by negative 2, and I'm going to get the negative 4 also, won't I? So this right here and this right here would make my equation. I would get y equal 3 over 2x minus 4. So if you can remember the negative a over b and the c over b, that's a little bit quicker to get to the answer y equal mx plus b. We're going to do one more of these. So you can do it the traditional way, or you can learn that the slope is negative a over b and the y-intercept c over b. Fun. Let's go to number 2. It says directly proportional. That means we're going to have a proportion and we have y and x. So we're going to write down y over x, and then we're going to put a proportion. Fraction bar equal fraction bar. My first y is 12, my x is 5, and then I know y is equal to 30. Do you see that I have a proportion here? Do the bat and the ball, or whatever, you cross multiply and divide, we got to get the x. So we're going to cross multiply. So the 12 gets multiplied by the x, the 30 gets multiplied by the 5, and I'm going to get 12x equals 150. This won't divide evenly. We're going to leave our answer as a fraction. So we're going to divide by 12. I'm going to get my calculator, and we need to do 150 divided by 12. And we would get 25 over 2, or 12.5. We're going to leave it as 25 over 2. So x is going to be 25 over 2. So in the problem that says directly proportional or direct variation, you're going to set up a proportion and solve for it. Number 3, FUN, fun. Let me zoom out here so we can see the whole thing. Okay, so right here we have this equation, r equals distance divided by time. And we want to solve the equation for d. So I'm going to circle the d. So I want the d all by itself. So I know I'm going to get d equal, and this t has got to get moved across. The opposite of divide is to multiply. So we're going to distribute the t to all the terms. So the t's will divide out here, and I'm going to get RT or TR. Notice the t will go from the bottom to the top. The t will go from the bottom to the top. This is the answer right here. On your test, this is pretty simple. When you multiply or divide, the term you move across goes from, it flips across the fraction bar. So right here, we move the t from the bottom, and it's going to get moved to the top. The next problem, we want the slope-intercept form, which is y equal mx plus b of the line that goes through these two dots. So we're going to set up a table and do a linear regression. So I'm going to do xy. I'm going to put 0 and 7 and negative 2 and 1. We're going to put this into a table, and we're going to get our m and b, and we're going to write down the equation. So let's go to the calculator. We're going to hit home. We're going to click 1. We do not want to save anything. We're going to add a spreadsheet 4. And then we need to put x and y at the top. Y'all are doing wonderful with this. Put x, y at the top. And now we need to make our spreadsheet. So we need 0, negative 2 in for x. So 0, enter negative 2 for x. I'm going to go over here and put my y's in. My y's are going to be 7 and 1. So I need to put 7 and 1 in for y. 7, enter, 1, enter. So 0, 7, and 2, negative 1. Now then, menu, stat calculation, linear regression, menu 4, 1, 3. So menu 4, 1, 3. And now then x down, y down, enter. X down, y down, enter. So x down, y down, and then hit enter. Ho, 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 ho. So my m is 3. I don't need to make it a fraction, do I? My m is 3 and my b is 7. Piece of cake. So I'm going to go here. My m is 3. My b is 7. My equation is going to be y equal 3x plus 7. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N. Fun, fun, fun. Let's go to the next one. So we want an undefined slope that goes to the point negative 5, 7. Since it's undefined, remember, hoi is horizontal. 0 slope, y-axis. Vux is vertical line, undefined, x-axis. So we're going to use Vux for the undefined slope. That means that our equation is going to be an x equal. So our equation should be x equal negative 5. If we were to graph this, negative 5, 7 would be up here, and the line is undefined. It's a vertical line in it. So it goes through the x-axis at negative 5. So our equation would be x equal negative 5. It's also important to note that it's either going to be x equal negative 5 or y equal 7. X equal vertical, y equal horizontal. Piece of cake. Going to number 6. F-U-M, fun, fun, fun. Number 6. You are visiting Baltimore, Maryland. A taxi company charges a flat fee of $3. That's dirt cheap. And 75 cents per mile. This is your starting cost. This is your growing. So we're going to have y equal gx plus s. And we're going to get y equals 0.75x plus the $3. That's the slope-intercept form for the taxi ride. The slope, y'all do this. What would the slope be? The slope is going to be 0.75 in it. And it represents how many dollars she pays per mile. That's going to be a problem on there. But make sure you can go from a verbal description to an equation using that gx plus s or mx plus b. Number 7, F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. This is a pretty hard one here. So the perimeter is equal to twice the length plus twice the width. And let me write W better. And we want to solve this for W. So let's circle the W. Now then, notice what's got to get moved over. The 2L is going to get moved across. That means the positive 2L will turn into a minus 2L. So I know I'm going to have P minus 2L. All of these have P minus 2L, don't they? Now then, the 2 is going to go from the top to the bottom. So the 2L will go to a negative, and this 2 will go from the top to the bottom. This matches up to right here, doesn't it? Ho, 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 ho. Just remember, if you move it across, add or subtract, the 2L will have to be negative. All of these have a negative 2L. And then this 2 needs to go to the bottom. Only one has the 2 on the bottom of the whole equation. Going to number 8. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Turn the page. On number 8, all we want is the equation. To get the equation, we need to know the slope and the y-intercept. So that's what we're going to get. The y-intercept is right here. It's -2. So I know my equation has to end in a -2. Look over here on the side. This is wrong and this is wrong, isn't it? The next thing we need is our slope. So we need 2 dots. So I'm going to put a dot right here and a dot right here. Now I'm going to make my slope triangle. The slope triangle goes up or down and to the right. So my slope triangle will go down and to the right. How much did I go down? 1, 2, 3. I went down 3 over 1. My slope is -3 over 1 or -3. So which one has -3 in front of it? Right here, A is the answer. So it's going to be -3x minus 2. The other way to do that, this ordered pair right here is -1, 1. And this ordered pair is 0, -2. You would put that into a spreadsheet and get the M equal and the B equal. The M would be -3, the B would be equal to -2. So make sure you can do this both ways. The shortcut is just to do it with the graph. The long way, you're going to get it right, get the 2 ordered pairs, put it into a T-chart, run a linear regression. Continuing on! Okay, let's go to problem number 9. The fun continues. On number 9, we have a table, and we need to make it, find the table and find the slope and the y-intercept. So we're going to find the slope and the y-intercept of this table. We're going to put it into the calculator, into a spreadsheet, and run a linear regression. So let's get going on this. So my x's are 0, 1, 2, 4, and 5. Notice we're skipping the 3. So let's go to the calculator. We're going to hit Add Spreadsheet. We're going to click Home. We're going to click 1 for New. We're going to click 4 for Spreadsheet. We need to put our x and y at the top. And now then my x's are 0, 1, 2, 4, and 5. I'm going to go back up here to the 0. Now then I need to put in all my y's. So I'm going to go to the spreadsheet 1, 4, 7, 13, 16. Those are going to be my y's. So 1, 4, 7, 13, and 16 are my y's, correct? So put this in a spreadsheet. Now then, menu 413, X down, Y down, enter. So menu, stats, stat calculation, linear regression, X down, Y down, and then hit enter. Bam. My slope is 3, my y-intercept's 1. Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. So my M is equal to 3, my B is equal to 1, and my equation would be y equal 3x plus 1, wouldn't it? Notice if you take these numbers and multiply by 3 and add 1, you'll get the y, won't you? 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. This equation generates that table. Oh. Continuing on, number 10. Please don't miss this. The y-intercept's 4 and the x-intercept's -3. So on the y-axis, I'm going to put a dot at 4. On the x-axis, I'm going to put a dot at -3. And you're just going to connect those with a line. That's all you got to do. So on the test tomorrow, they're going to have a problem like this. Draw a dot on the y-axis, on the x-axis. Connect those dots with a line, and bam, you got your answer. Piece of cake. Let's go to number 11. The same thing. We have standard. We want slope intercept. So I'm going to show the math. So 3x minus 2y equals 8. We need to move the 3x to the right. So -2y equals -3x plus 8. And then I need to divide by the -2. So I'm going to get y equals 3 over 2x. 2 negatives makes a positive. And then 8 divided by -2 is a -4. Now then, write down 3x minus 2y equals 8. This is my A, my B, and my C. The slope is -a over b. So it's going to be 3 over -2. The slope's going to be 3 over 2. My y-intercept is c divided by b. So that's going to be what? 8 divided by negative 2, which is negative 4. This right here and this right here is my equation. Y equals 3 over 2x minus 4. Same thing I have on the left. So you can show the steps, or you could do these shortcut forms from the math on how to solve the ax plus by equals c for y. Piece of cake. Let's go to the next one. On this one right here, we are going to graph this, and then we're going to hit Control T and find the negative 3. So let's go to the calculator. We need to hit the home. We need to go to graph, so B. And then you want to make sure it says F1x. If it doesn't, menu, graph, and we want to graph a function. Oh, so we're about to graph a function. Let's find the function we're going to graph. It's negative 4, x minus 2 plus 5. So negative 4, parentheses, x minus 2, and then plus 5. So let me make sure that's right. Negative 4, x minus 2 plus 5. X minus 4, that's right. So I got the equation right. So negative 4, parentheses, x minus 2 plus 5. We're going to hit enter. And then Control T. That makes the table appear. And we want to know the y when x is negative 3. So right now we need to hit the up button until we get to negative 3. And at negative 3, the y is 25 in it. So if I input negative 3, my output's 25. So I'm going to go to my paper. The f of negative 3 would equal to 25. As an ordered pair, that would be negative 3 comma 25, would it? Ho, 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 ho. F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. Turn the page. So we're going to number 13. Ho, ho, ho. A person's weekly salary is directly proportional. That means we're going to have a proportion to the number of hours worked. So the pay is directly proportional to the hours. So we're going to have money and we're going to have hours in this. And I'm going to make a fraction. So Sean's pay is $123 for 20 hours of work. How much will they make for 31? You'll put 31 here and put an X, won't you? So we're going to do 20 times X equals 31 times 123. So we got to do 31 times 123 and divide that by 20, right? So this right here is going to give us our answer. 31 times 123 divided by 20. So I'm going to go to my calculator, hit home, A to calculate. Let me go back and see the problem again. 31 times 123 divided by 20. So I'm going to hit Control Divide. Oops. 31 times 123, and then I'm going to divide that by 20. Or not. Let me make sure that's right. 31 times 123 divided by 20, and I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to get this. Now then I need to hit Control Enter to make it a fraction, or to make it a decimal, so Control Enter, and this right here turns into a decimal, doesn't it? So I'm going to make $190.65. So if you get a fraction, hit Control Enter, and it will turn the fraction into the decimal. Okay, so I'm going to go here. This would be $190.65. Ho, 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 ho. So remember, if it's a fraction, Control Enter will make it a decimal. Right here, another one. We're going to make it slope-intercept form. So 6x minus 4y equal 9. I'm going to do it both ways. So we're going to move the 6x over. Notice when I move it over, this positive 6x will turn into a negative on it. Then I'm going to divide by negative 4. And this is kind of hairy because you got fractions in here. So we're going to get y equal. This is going to simplify to a positive 3 over 2x and then minus 9 over 4. So on this problem, the y-intercept and the slope are both fractional. This would be kind of tough to graph because you'd have a lot of decimals. Let's do it the other way. So write down ax plus by equals c. Remember, this number and this number give you the slope. So write down negative a over b. I'm going to put negative fraction bar. The a is 6, the b is negative 4. Notice that's the same thing you get right here in it. Two negatives make a positive. My slope is 3 over 2. The y-intercept, notice I divided 9 and negative 4, didn't I? The y-intercept is going to be 9 divided by negative 4. which stays 9 over negative 4. So we would get y equal 3 over 2x minus 9 over 4. You would get the same answer doing the same thing, okay? So if you can't move it over and divide, do those shortcuts. You got to have them memorized, though. Number 15, the fun continues. We're almost done. That's kind of sad. We want to know what the y-intercept of this graph is. Notice this is the distance Bubba Bob is from home as he rides on his bike. So as he rides his bike, he gets closer to home, doesn't he? He starts off right here. This is the starting number. On the STAR test, they'll use the initial amount. So the y-intercept is 10, and he's 10 miles from home at the start, right? He starts off. Let's put he starts off. He starts off 10 miles from home. So he starts off 10 miles from home. What is the x-intercept? What happens when he gets to the x-axis? He runs out of the distance. He basically gets home. And it takes him 50 minutes. So in 50 minutes, he's home. He gets home. He has 0 miles left, right? At 50 minutes, he has 0 miles left. He gets home. Now then, let's extend this and get the slope. Remember the slope triangle. We're going to go down and we're going to go over. So we went down 10 and we went over 50. So our slope is negative 10 over 50, and that's going to be negative 1/5, and it's negative 1/5 mile per hour, or y per x, right? So it's negative 1/5 miles per hour. Just make sure on this graph, you know what the y-intercept means, and you know what the x-intercept means. The y-intercept's what you start off with. The x-intercept is when you run out of y. So this problem here, it's when you run out of miles away from home or when you get home. Continuing on, we're almost done. Number 16, you want the rate of change from this. There's 2 ways to do it. The easy way is to make your slope triangle. So on this slope triangle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we go down 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we go over 4. My slope is negative 6 over 4, which is going to be negative 3 over 2. The other way to do this is to get this ordered pair, make a t-chart, which is negative 2, 2, and then this ordered pair is 2 comma negative 4. You would put that into the t-chart, and you would get negative 1.5 as a decimal, which would turn into negative 3 over 2. So you would run a linear regression with this table. So make sure you can put this in a table if you can't do the slope triangle. Continuing on, turn the page. Number 17, please don't miss this. So we want an x-intercept of negative 2 and a y-intercept of negative 3. The x-intercept negative 2 is here, the y-intercept of negative 3 is here, and just connect them with a line. That's all you got to do. Piece of cake. Please don't miss that. Continuing on, keep going, number 18. We want the rate of change of the corn with respect to the number of days. So all we want is the M and the B, or the M. So we're going to put this into a spreadsheet and we want the M. Okay, so let's go to our calculator. I'm going to hit home. I want a spreadsheet, so I'm going to go to new. I'm not going to save anything. 4. And then I need to put my X and my Y up here. Always put your X and Y up here. Now then we need to put the table in. So 5, 20, 40, 80. 5, enter, 20, enter, 40, enter, 80, right? And then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to put my Y's, 7.5, 30, 60, 120. 7.5, 30, 60, 120. 7.5, 30, 60, 120. Let me make sure I have this right. 7.5, 30, 60, 120. 7.5, yep. So now we're going to do what? Menu 4, 1, 3, right? So menu 4, 1, 3, X, down, Y, down, and then hit enter, and bam. My slope is 1.5. So that's all you got to do. So we're going to go to here. Now then, if we wanted to make that a fraction, I'm going to make sure my 1.5 is in the box, hit Control C, hit Home and A, now that I want to be down here, make sure your cursor's at the bottom, hit Control V, I pasted it, and then menu to enter. Menu number, it's going to be 3 over 2. So 1.5 or 3 over 2, right? So let's go to here. The rate of change is going to be 1.5, and it's going to be, let's see, this is going to be our Y, this is our X. It's going to be centimeters per day, right? That's how many centimeters it grows per day. We would keep that as a decimal because centimeters is based as a decimal. If it were a fraction, we would make it a fraction. Or if it were in inches, we'd make it a fraction. Number 19, we are almost done. On number 19, we want the slope of the y-intercept of the graph. You've got to be able to get the grid points here. So I'm going to zoom in on this. This line goes through -2. That's my y-intercept in it. So I know my y-intercept's -2. Now then, dot the grid points, okay? So right here, we get this one, we get this one, we get this one, and we get this one. Notice every time we're going up 1 over 2, aren't we? Up 1 over 2. So our m is going to be 1 over 2 in it. So let's go back to here. The slope is 1 over 2. The y-intercept is -2. This right here would be the 0, right? The x-intercept is your 0. So the 0 of the function's 4. Ho, 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 ho. Another way to get the slope, I'm going to take this point and let's take this point. So I'm going to make a t-chart. This ordered pair would be -2, -3. This ordered pair would be 2, 1. If I put that in and run a regression, I'm going to get the m is 0.5 or 1/2. So you can do it either way. Make sure you can do this slope triangle. That really helps out getting the answer. And lastly, it's so sad, the last one. We're going to graph this, and then we're going to hit Control T and get 4. Okay, so we're going to graph it, hit Control T and go to 4. So let's go to the calculator. We're going to hit Home. We want to graph B. And notice I have a table up here. So I need to get rid of the table, Control T. And then I need to delete this line. So think of something bad. I'm going to think of, what can I think? I'm out of Oreo cookies and that makes me bad. So I'm going to hit delete 3 times, 1, 2, 3. So that's a little bit better. So my anxiety about not having Oreos is gone. Now that I need a new graph, I can hit menu 3, 1, or if you hit tab, the F1X is there. So I'm going to go and get the equation I need to graph. So x squared minus 5x plus 6. Let me get to here. So x squared minus 5x plus 6, hit enter. And now then we're going to go Control T and get to 4, aren't we? So Control T, and then 4 is equal to what? If you input 4, your output's 2 in it. So the answer to this is going to be 2. So f of 4 is equal to 2. As an ordered pair, that would be 4, 2, wouldn't it? F-U-N, fun, fun, fun. I hope you have learned. You're going to do wonderful on your test. Never stop believing in who you are. Watch this video again over and over until this clicks. The more you watch this, the higher your test score is going to be. Remember, you are amazing, you are created to do wonderful things, and you are awesome.